On page 83, we're playing chord forms, new chord forms. Our new chord form of major 7. We know a major 7 with root on the 5th string. You know, C major 7. It's always good to know roots of chords on either the 5th or 6th string. That's a good beginning way of knowing that you know chords in different areas of the neck. And if I know one C chord, or C major 7, or C minor 7 with 6th string root, I'm way here. But if I know a C minor 7 here, 5th string root, that gives me two choices of different areas to play these chords. Anyway, this G major 7 or major 7 chord is 6th string root with first finger on G, third finger on F sharp, fourth finger B, second finger D. One way to learn this fingering is to play your good old B minor chord in second position. Lift up your first finger and just put it on the 6th string. I remember Bill Levitt showing me how he figured out a good way of reminding people how to get this chord. By knowing your minor chord, you can get a major 7 chord. So it's a physical resemblance. The other is a diminished chord. We already know a C7 or a dominant 7th chord like this. To get a diminished 7th chord, we just take our second finger and place it right after that root and just play. Again, any note in this one, C sharp, G, B flat, and E, can be the root. This could be E diminished, B flat diminished, G diminished, D flat diminished. If you look at the last two measures of exercise 1, you have a D7. To get F sharp diminished, all you need to do is put your second finger down and get the diminished, because here is our root with that F sharp. Then we have to jump back down to G. Let me play this exercise 1 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the first line, we use two major 7s, G and C, and each one of them have a different root position. What I mean is each one of those chords have a root on a different string. The G major 7, the root is on the 6th string. The C major 7, the root is on the 5th string. If we didn't know this G major 7 would root on the 6th string, we would have had to play it, and then the C major 7 would be here. So notice how we don't have to jump around. We can hear the chords better. In the second exercise, we have 3 new chords, actually based on this major chord. This is a G major chord. To play a major 6th chord, we take off our 4th finger and put it on the 2nd string. Now, we need not to have the 4th string ringing. How do we do that? We just lift up our 1st finger a little and get this. Or, I'm playing the 1st string, but if we were to play this chord, G6, with our 1st finger very flat, we would be playing this note F, and that would make it a G13. Okay, which one is this, 13 or major 6? That's the 13th chord. Here's the 6th. Notice we're not hearing that note. And you're right. the 13th of G7, or G13th chord, has a 7th in it. So we count up from the 7th, the 13th's an E. For the 6th to happen, we don't have the 7th ringing, and we're going to call this E a 6th. 13th and 6th are really the same notes as what you have below it. To get a 9th chord, instead of playing the 13th, we're going to just take our 4th finger and play it on the 1st string. This is a little harder to play. There we go, that's easier. G13th, G9th, G6th, G9th, G13th. So here is exercise 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. As it says on the bottom of the page, you may substitute 6th chords and major 7 chords, and we sometimes call them major 6 chords, for major chords. And we can substitute dominant 9th or 9th and dominant 13th or 13th chords for dominant 7th chords. In other words, we can play a G6 or a G major 7 for G, and we can play G13 or G9 instead of G7. There are a number of factors that would have me make my choice between 9ths and 13ths or dominant, straight dominant 7 chords, but just remember these substitutions right now. So practice G6, G13th, G9. Now your turn to practice these chords smoothly and slowly.